My name is Bekah, and I portrayed Mary in the 79th Easter pageant. Easter pageant to me still is one of the most influential and life-changing times in my life. It taught me so much about myself and about others. For myself, I would have never dreamed of having the kind of confidence that would allow me to stand in front of a crowd and actually talk out loud. But God gave me the strength to do that, and that still blows my mind. I just preferred to live life in the shadows. That's where I was comfortable, and that's where I felt like I fit best, was doing things quietly, without ever getting any attention on myself, which still kind of that way. But it pushed me far out of that comfort zone, and God just gave me so much strength and taught me so much about his goodness and his grace and how much he cares for us, beyond more than I could have ever expected. And so it was just truly one of the most special times in my life. And how it taught me about others. Like I said, I like to live life in the shadows, and that involves being by myself. And I had more people in my house that year than I could have ever dreamed of having in there. Far more social, but it taught me so much about how to intentionally love and care for people, and how to show them hospitality, and how feeding a hungry group of disciples can go a long way, even if it does take a lot of food. That was one of the most special times, was when everyone was gathered in my home, sharing a meal and just fellowshipping over all that we were going through together and all that was to come. And it taught me so much about how that community and connection is just so important in everyone's life. And I got to share it with some really great people during that time. During Easter pageant day, I was a ball of nerves, and I did not stop crying probably all day. I can laugh about it now. For a while, even if I thought about it, I started crying. And people do joke about that. I joke about that. But I truly don't think that I had ever felt anything as deeply as I was feeling God's love and God's power that day. And to see it, just get a front row view, because I had been in the crowd and loved every minute of that, despite how hard it was. And I had done the makeup crew. And again, it gave me a totally different perspective. And then being Mary, having the very front spot of watching Jesus, which was one of my best friends, Matt, get crucified, was just like, I had nothing else to look at. I couldn't turn my head and look at the people beside me. Instead, like, I had to look at the one thing happening in front of me. And it was really hard. And I think that before I had read the story of Jesus' crucifixion, and I knew it, and I felt, oh, that's really sad. Like, I can't believe someone would do that for us. But seeing it up close and it feeling very personal changed so much of the way that I view that sacrifice and how I view God's love. And I still think about that now. Like, when I hear certain songs or when I read certain scriptures, those images can just pop back into my head. And so it's kind of cool for me to have visuals in my head when I'm reading these things now, instead of kind of making up like some random image of Jesus in my head or picturing the Passion of the Christ scenes. Instead, I can vividly remember those parts of that day, and it just feels incredibly personal to me, which is really special. But like I said, it was really hard for me to watch, and I truly hated when the earthquake scene came and I would have to leave and not get to watch him either get put in the tomb or come out. And so every time I would leave that scene absolutely sobbing, Tiffany Werdeman, now Horton, would be waiting for me. I would cry for a few more seconds and be like, okay, I've got to go watch him come out. And so I would peek my head through the set, and every single time I would watch Jesus come out, and it just kind of finished it for me, where I was like, that's why he did this, because he died, he got to rose again, and we got to feel that really personal connection to him, and being like, whew, okay, it's fine. He did come back to life, and he's here, and he's saving all of us every day, and he's forgiving and loving us every day. And to just have that connection has just been such a big part of my faith. And it's just given it more meaning and more life to me. And it was just so special to have that time. And I couldn't be more grateful for it. I'm also thankful for our group of disciples and mourners. It was a group of unlikely people. A lot of the disciples I didn't know before that. I knew a couple. And then same with my mourners. I picked a couple friends, but then the rest of them were people that I weren't very close to or didn't know at all. And it was just really special to get to have this extremely vulnerable and life-changing experience walking alongside some people that were started as strangers and ended as some of my best and closest friends still. And so it has just been, in all areas of my life, it has touched me in some way, where it gave me confidence, or it taught me how to love others better, or it gave me a better view of the gospel and how to share that gospel better. It really just completely, I don't even have words for it still. It just is such a big part of my life. And it's something that I can look at things now in my life that I face and I say, okay, this seems scary, but I can remember all of these times before that God's provided and He's given me tools to do what I need to do, and He's not going to leave me now. And something that someone said to me during my time in Easter pageant was, God did not bring you this far just to leave you here. And that has stuck with me, I think, probably every day since then, where there's been days where it's felt totally like I'm in despair and I don't know what I'm gonna do, and just living life, like it's confusing and it's hard, but I'm like, okay, God didn't bring me to this point just to be like, okay, I'm done with you. Like, no, He's brought me here for a reason and He's gonna see it through. And He did that tenfold during Easter pageant, and it truly is just the most special time of my life. And I am so thankful for Easter pageant and what it means to our community and what it means to UMHB. And I'm just so thankful that I got to be a small part of that in this long-standing and beloved tradition that is my favorite forever. And I am just so grateful for UMHB and for Easter pageant, and so glad to be a part.